All right, so update number 4. I went in on Monday. Today's Thursday. I went in on Monday and had all the papers with me. Everything was ready to go, and uh, goalposts were moved yet again. Um, Turns out that I don't know exactly when this happened, and it was probably like one of the first jobs that I had while I was here. Um, but basically, I had multiple like local social security numbers created. So the ENN, the tax number, basically, right? Or PIN number, whatever they like calling it. But I had 3 of them, and 2 of them were ones I didn't know that I had, and a lot of this comes from incorrect translations of my name, whether that is, well, not translations, but transliterations, right? So like changing my name from English or from the Latin alphabet into the Cyrillic alphabet, and different um, different translators, because you have to get documents translated all the time, right? So different translators have translated my name or spelled my name differently in Cyrillic alphabet. And as a result, I have various different documents with, like, some of them, my last name has a space. Some of them, my first name is spelled with slightly different variations. And so I ended up with 3 different PIN numbers. Okay, so that's one thing that they wanted me to deal with. But then also they're like, okay, so let's see the other documents that you have. And even though I am submitting for citizenship based on being married to a local, which requires me to prove the last 3 years living here. So I need to have my registration, either depends on what year you were here for that, but like, for example, I've actually got 3 different types. I have one, the oldest one is just a stamp in my residency booklet. The second oldest is the old style piece of paper that they would give. And then the last one is a new version that they've started providing that has like a QR code and stuff on it as well. So I have 3 different types of registration proof. But she kept going on about that I needed 5 years. I needed 5 years. And I was like, I only need 3 years. And so, like, even she wasn't really sure about what I was needing to provide. Eventually, she did realize that it was 3 years. I guess she read again somewhere. She pulled out a huge stack of papers and was reading through. But then the other thing, she was like, okay, well, you need your bank statements. I was like, well, I have those here. And what I have was something called a vupiska, which is basically like, I need to, because the last time I was there, so this is about 2 weeks ago, they told me you need to have not just like a piece of paper that says that you have an account and how much money you have, but we want to see coming in, going out, coming in, going out. And I'm like, oh man, you got to be kidding me. So, like, I printed out pages and pages because they want like 6 months worth. So I think I ended up with like over 35 pages worth of this stuff. And then you have to make 2 copies of each. And so that was a lot of paper. And she's like, what am I supposed to do with this? Who told you to do this? I was like, well, the lady in the other room that I came and talked to last week. And she's like, well, no, you need to have a bank, like an official document from the bank saying this is your account and this is the amount of money that you have in the account. And it would be really good, and you need to have at least 100,000 soms in your account. It would be best if you have up to 150,000 soms in your account. And I'm like, okay, well, first of all, that wasn't on the list of documents that I needed. It just said that I needed to have banking statement. And I checked with you guys, and this is what I was told to bring. And so apparently that's incorrect. So you need to go to the bank and like, for example, I do through KICB, because that's my employer uses KICB for salary payments. And so you need to have depending on your employer, you probably know which bank you need to have. But KICB charges 500 soms for one of these documents. And basically, yeah, it just says your name, that you do have an account and the amount of money that you have in the account. And I was like, well, this kind of seems a little bit disingenuous because I can go and ask a bunch of people to borrow some money. I can quickly put it in the bank and be like, hey, look how much money I have, and then get the document and then give the money back. And she's like, I mean, yeah, but we just want to see that you have the money. Again, okay, so like I could just fake it. So anyways, like I did have to go and get some of my cash that I have because I don't keep everything in the bank, and I didn't have enough in there to prove that at the time, and so I had to go and make a deposit. Well, at the bank, they're like, okay, so we can't make that document for you until the cash has settled, and that will take at least 2 days. And so um, that I did on Tuesday. No, that I did yesterday. And I obviously that double or triple social security number, I deal with that as well. That fortunately happened really quickly. I went in on Tuesday morning with a copy of my passport, my birth certificate. When I was 17 or 18, we also, because I've gone by my middle name, my original middle name. I've basically gone by that since I can remember. The only people that still called me by my first name have already passed on. My grandparents that still did that. But other than that, like everybody knows me as Amadeus, and that's my middle name. And so I think when I was either 17 or 18, I officially had my name changed. And so, now I've got another document because they're like, but your birth certificate says this isn't your name. And so I got to show them this other document. And, it's just like every little thing. But went in with all those papers, and they told me it will take between 3 to 10 days to get rid of your old PIN numbers because it has to be sent to a committee, which will have to meet and then decide what to do with it. You got to be kidding me, right? And so, but then later on that day, later on Tuesday afternoon, I got a phone call, and they're like, "Oh, well, it's already done." So, wow, that was bureaucratic efficiency at its finest. To be honest, I really expected it to take the full 10 days, and it didn't even take 3 days, like she said. It took a few hours, so that was really cool. So, anyways, tomorrow is Friday. I'm going to go back to the bank. I'm going to get this little piece of paper that says that I have money in the bank. And then I'll probably take it back out so that I have cash again. But and then hopefully, because the bank is in the same building as Tson, the bureaucratic offices where I am doing all this, and so hopefully, like as soon as I got that document, I'll just walk around the corner, go up the stairs, and submit everything, and hopefully the goalpost won't have moved yet again. There won't be another edition of, oh, well, this wasn't on the list, but now we actually want you to have this document and then this document. And, it gets old after a while, to be honest. It just, yeah. Kind of thought, I'll just follow that list and I'll get all those papers that are on there. And I got them all, and I went in and expected it to work, and it didn't. So, hopefully tomorrow it will. Yeah, and then we'll see what happens. We'll see how quickly I get citizenship, if I do at all. There is the chance that they will say no. They shouldn't. I mean, like, I have a pretty good case to be given citizenship. I've been here for 15 years. My wife is from here. My kids are citizens. Like, but it can always come back with a no. It's possible. I'm hoping for the best on that, but you never know what's going to happen here. It'd be really great to get the citizenship, and then we can kind of sort some stuff out as a family here, because we've kind of had to balance the foreigner local family situation, and if we're all from the same country, then we can kind of deal with a few other little bureaucratic legal issues that are just kind of ongoing, just kind of hanging out, like home ownership and stuff like that. Um, it's a little bit kind of vague in a way, I suppose. Um, but yeah, hopefully it'll be quick. I've heard it can take anywhere from 6 months to a year, but you never know. It might be faster. Like my PIN number change. Maybe it'll take. Maybe it'll be real quick. I do think. I do kind of hope that since I'm getting all the documents turned in before New Year's, like my kind of assumption is that they put everything on a desk before New Year's. Because what I've heard is that the committee that goes through and determines citizenship applications meets twice a year, which is why they said it could take 6 months to a year. So what I'm hoping is that they are preparing a big pile of documents to put on somebody's desk, like before everybody leaves for the New Year's holidays. And so hopefully if I get my stuff turned in time, it can make its way into that pile. And then maybe it will go a little bit quicker. Who knows? But yeah. So yeah, there's update number 4. Oh, I still have no idea what my grades were on my language exam for the writing and speaking sections. I've been looking, and I don't know, maybe they just decided, we gave him his certificate. It doesn't matter anymore. Maybe that's what happened. I don't know. But yeah, I do have that. And by the way, the lady at the office asked for it like 10 times. And specifically that it was done at Kyrgyz test. So for those of you considering citizenship, you better do it through Kyrgyz test, because I bet if you don't and you bring some other certificate, they're going to be like, but you have to do it through Kyrgyz test. And then you'll have wasted all that time trying to do a certificate somewhere else. So make sure you do it through Kyrgyz test. That's definitely what they're asking for. And yeah, hopefully I'll have good news for you guys tomorrow. But until then, yeah, keep following along.